This is a rant on Dan Sobel. Dan Sobel? What? No. More like Dan Sobel, the man-child. Oh my goodness. That user sucks. Here are the reasons why I kind of do hate Dan Sobel. It's because Dan Sobel was making grounding threats out of some good YouTubers. Like, come on, Dan Sobel. And also, back in September of 2022, or somewhere September 14th or September 15th of 2022, or mostly the 14th, Dan Sobel was screaming ear rape out loud at Devin Osborne and Vinny is a social media guy during that you know what video thing. So yeah. Which, come on, Dan. This is why a lot of YouTubers hate you, because of that. And also, he just said the N-word. Like, somewhere in 2021 or recently. He just said the N-word. Like, come on, Dan Sobel. You just had no right to say the N-word. And also, he was just making unhappy birthday to my good friends Jordan's Media Core 2000. I don't know if he did make an unhappy late birthday. He also made an unhappy late birthday to Andrew Broussard, also known as Andrew's Movie Corner, Jordan's Media Core 2000, and Nate the Game Media 2006. Like, come on, Dan Sobel. You know, unhappy birthday message. We don't say unhappy birthday message, and I don't do unhappy birthday, so yeah. And plus, he also does swear words, which I don't care if he does swear words, so yeah. And plus, back in July of 2022, he was just changing his pajamas in front of the kids on TikTok. Like, come on, Dan. And he also and back somewhere in 2025, I believe, Dan Sobel was being naked on Google Meets. Like, seriously, Dan Sobel? Why were you naked on Google Meets? Like, come on, Dan. And what else he did wrong? And all kinds of terrible things. He did some terrible things. He does too much drama and stuff like that. So yeah. And well, the only thing I remember he also does good stuff as well. Like, he does his taste test videos and his Blues Clues Liar segments and all kinds of good stuff he did. I don't know about that, but I'm glad. But I did appreciate that Dan Sobel made a letter for me, though. But still, I'm no longer friends with him. And what else he did wrong? He was also like he also give people middle finger and showing up the private parts, which that's not gonna work at all. He was just making grounding threats and making bad message videos as well. So yeah. Well, sometimes you have a right to make grounding threats like those bad YouTubers like Eric Payton or whatever that is. So yeah. I'm fine if he made a rant on Horrid Henry, because he hates Horrid Henry with a burning passion. He also hates Happy Tree Friends, which I know he just said that everyone hates Happy Tree Friends. Like, come on, Dan, not everyone hates Happy Tree Friends. Which I don't know about Happy Tree Friends, in my opinion. Which I did finally archive that video when Dan Sobel made a rant on Happy Tree Friends. Dan Sobel's Rant on Horde Henry was still there, but it's only on the longest video ever, which the Dan Sobel the Man Child, which that most of the lot of videos is viewer discretion is advised. So yeah. So Dan Sobel, if you're watching this, we're not friends anymore. I really had no choice, but I'm afraid we're not friends anymore, Dan. I used to be friends with you a long time ago, and I just know you since May of 2021, and I talked to you since August of 2021. But I used to be friends with him, but not anymore. And I was been staying friends after you were screaming, which I did saw Dan Sobel scream since 2022, but I didn't not cut ties until originally since August of 2024. Then December I was liking him again until April 7th of this year, 2025. I decided to cut ties him. So I already cut ties him for a couple days ago. So yeah. And plus Donovan Patton had a right to make a message for you, Dan Sobel, to Dan Sobel, like he was grounded at Dan Sobel. So yeah, Donovan Patton, also known as Joe from Blue's Clues, already did made a grounding message to Dan Sobel. Made a message to Dan Sobel that he's grounded. Yeah, he is. Like, he is the meanest YouTuber ever, I'm afraid. I mean, he's not always a mean person. He's not always does the bad things. He also does good stuff as well. I don't know about his good stuff, but mostly I don't like the bad stuff. So yeah, Dan Sobel is gotta be the worst YouTuber ever. Do you know who likes this user? Amanda Cartret and Abby Hatcher fan, I believe, and some YouTubers. I'm not sure about SKY 1996 though, so I'm gonna have to let it be. But I respect their opinions on Dan Sobel. I can handle Amanda Cartret's opinion on Dan Sobel. So yeah, because I'm still neutral to Amanda Cartret, just not Dan Sobel. And do you know who hates this user? Me, Jordan's Media Core 2000, Nate the Game Media 2006, Ryan Goodwin, Brandon Pippin, Andy Ho, Diego Hernandez Romero, Mr. Evan, Super Mitomo, Ben Blatchard, which Ben Blatchard wasn't here anymore, I'm afraid, and Anthony Craig, Ryan Silva, and what else do they? I can't remember what any other users hates Dan Sobel. Mackenzie Wheeler, I believe. Chase Bowlen. Samuel Carril's Movie Corner. Adam DeZayas. And what else? Who hates Dan Sobel? Oh yeah, I'm Chloe the Brother Bear fan nowadays. And some rest of the YouTubers who hates Dan Sobel. So screw Dan Sobel, except he made letters for me and stuff like that. The only thing I only prefer to Dan Sobel is he did make a letter segment to me back in 2021 to 2022, which I'm not going to delete my Blues Clues letter segments as Dan Sobel, because the only thing I prefer to Dan Sobel I like is he made a letter segment to me, and I kind of do miss some of his good stuff, but I don't really care anymore nowadays, since I don't mind. And thank goodness, he does not have his videos on his YouTube channel. But if he come back to YouTube, I don't really care for me. So yeah. So screw Dan Sobel, except for his letter segments, and he taste test videos, and he made a letter segment to me and stuff like that. So yeah. Nathan Gay Media did 2006, Jordan's Media Core 2000, and some other good users are way better than Dan Sobel. And so yeah. So yeah. That's all I gotta say of this video. End of rant.